Dark House 2014. Our movie begins with Nick Di Santo, who came to visit his mother in the hospital after many years no see. When he came in, she looked at him and said, "You look exactly like him." He began to blame her and told her, "Why would you lie to me and tell me you know nothing about him?" And once he touched her. Sounds like she remembered something. She told him today she was going to tell him about his father, and the thing on the wall told her that. But Nick started knocking on the door and went out. She tried to tell him, but he went out. In the evening, while he was at the bar, he wanted to play with his friends as usual. He sees the future when he touches someone's hand and sees what's gonna happen to him in the future. He passed them one by one and suddenly he was beating on the table. What was that? When he touched his beloved's hand, nothing happened. In the hospital, this strange thing told his mother.
"You should have told him about me."
She said she did it all. Then strong fires appeared. While he was with his beloved, his friend came and told him to check the news, as there was talk in the news about big fire in the hospital. Upon arriving at Judge Payne's office, the judge gave him a series of documents belonging to his mother. After he got out, the judge started talking to the vent. He said he has it, and if not, my guess is wrong. He's already found. When he came home, he showed them his childhood drawings, all of the same home that he inherited from his mother. So they set off to look for his new home. After driving around, they found this bar in this village. Nick found a photo of the house clinging to the wall. He asked about it. Someone told him that a massive flood occurred 2 decades ago, washed it and brought this wormwood house here. On his way, he met these people whom he asked about the house. Looks like someone recognized it. He told them to get in his car and follow him. Oh my goodness, is this a bad omen? When they arrive at the flood route, they will follow to reach the house. It seems that things are not promising. The men followed the flood route while the women stood by the 2 vehicles. Looks like they finally found the house. What a marvelous house. When they got there, the doors opened, these men get out and ordered them to leave. But Nick told him he owned the house. He told them to come in. Entering the house seemed dilapidated and worn, and a few moments after checking it, the stranger started beating Nick and ordered him to flee and ordered his friends to flee too, and no one would ever came back here. Out there, things seemed to take a turn for the worse. What a weird place. Nick ran out and that guy screamed. Everybody fled. But these monsters have got them. Oh god, what a mess they got themselves into. Oh damn, he almost got hit. The rest of them fled these monsters. Suddenly a blow came in the chest of that fat guy named Sam. The rest fled, but the monster ended him. They arrived and rolled into the van. But the monsters continued to chase them all the time. They finally managed to reach the city. They stopped at the bar. Chris saw no one inside, but inside everybody's there. What's going on? This person went into a room inside and started talking to the vent and said, "I'm going to make sure Nick comes home. We'll get to 23, you'll get up." On the way to get away from the place, they came across this man in the middle of the road. Chris tried to move away from him, but the van went off the road and crashed into a tree. And they ended up just in front of the house. Chris checked the house and said it was empty, so they decided to come in and spend the night there. But Nick saw something horrible, hanging men with ropes around their necks. He started to flop and fall to the ground, and he saw one of his friends holding a human heart in his hand. These things don't exist now, but Nick's got the ability to see what's going on in the future. At night, while Nick is asleep, Rio and Lilith decided to go to get things from the van, but they seemed to be under the surveillance of those monsters. At home, Nick woke up. He seemed to be fine. His wife Evie asked him what he saw and he told her. Outside, we see Rio and Lilith have arrived safely. Nick went out and met Rio. Rio asked him what he had seen, but Nick didn't answer, so they went in. It seems that this house is haunted and that something is moving between the walls and has reached the vent. Maybe it's the ghost that the others were talking to. They tried to catch him and Rio hit him. His blood flew on the wall, but the blood looks like a stink gel. They decide to break up. 2 guys guarding outside and Nick stays with females inside. When Nick was asleep, a voice called him out of the vent and he discovered it was his mother. She told him that she and her dad are trapped and that he must open the door to get them out. He decided to get at the door, and the more he tried to open it, the more those monsters moved, the more they were prepared to fight. His friend came to his aid, and after opening it more, these mutants attacked immediately, and when close they froze in their places. So everyone snuck in front of those monsters and ran off, but they got them. The women fled to the car. Rio started reading the names and their meanings and said that Lilith is the name of a devil who steals embryos from their mothers. In the car, Lilith tried to put pressure on Ivy's belly, but that monster intervened and hit her with a woodcutter and killed her. He told her she's a devil by the name of Lilith and she was sent to kill your child. You can't wait for Nick now he found the house again. Lilith, Chris and Samuel are 3 devils from hell that want to destroy the child, and Nick found his way home. And the devil Chris creates illusions, so he's the one who got you see the city empty and return to the same place as the house. You have to leave Nick and go. The monster is not allowed to enter the human world, but his human sign calls him when he is 23 years old, and Nick is the son of the terrible deaths. Next to the house, Chris told Nick to stop running because you'll always return to the same place. And it seems that this person's job was to take Nick into this house so that Nick could meet his dad. As for those monsters carrying woodcutters, that brought them to keep him away from the creature that instills terror in souls. Now he has to talk to him. That's all he wants. Those monsters came back, but these men attacked them, and Nick finally found his father. When Rio and Evie arrived, they find bodies everywhere. Upon entering the house, they found Nick alive but wounded. When Rio looked at this place, he found a lot of human hearts that Nick ripped out of those dead. Then he attacked his friend Rio and took his heart while Evie fled. She found herself in the hospital and she gave birth to a child. Evie asked who brought her here. This man appeared and it seems he was the one who saved her life. Evie and Nick's son grew up and appears to paint the ghost house. Following the sounds came out of the vent and completed this cycle again. See you in the next video.